Have you ever wondered how Singapore looks? Why people travel to visit Singapore? Did you know that Singapore is known to be one of the modern cities in the world? Well, today I will be telling you a quick understanding about Singapore history, modern building, and streets and the culture dishes. I'm going to start off by telling you a bit history about Singapore. First, Singapore's background and culture information. Singapore doesn't really have a history. According to the bicentennial commemoration, imagining and reimagining Singapore history, we don't have a history, so we imagining. So let me restate that. What they're trying to say is that in the year 14th century, Singapore was actually founded, but since nations around Singapore wanted Singapore, what they did was they fought for it, but every time they fought for it, somehow they end up burning it. But and this was continue until Sir Stammer Raffles founded. According to the Gambling in Singapore, an overview of history, research, treatment, and policy, modern Singapore was founded in 1918 by Sir Stamford Raffles. Next, I'm going to talk about the modern buildings and streets. The beautiful and unique landscapes and architects that Singapore has. According to the Lion City Glorious Past, Singapore is now likely the most evocating major city in Southeast Asia, a country long seen as a model of modern and Asia now offers a model for urban archaeology. So, if you ever go to Singapore, or you ever want to visit Singapore, it's a great place to learn about how modern society actually works. According to Big Revamp, to turn Singapore Orchard into more lively street, traveling from one end of Arc Road to another will eventually be a very different experiment. So when building the new modern Singapore, what they did was from one end to another, they actually built trees around that. So when you cross that, you can drive it or you can either walk it. So when you drive or walk around that or walk inside that, it's actually a street, but there's trees built around it, surrounding it, making it look like a forest, and it's really beautiful. If you ever consider visiting Singapore, you should really go in that street. Finally, I'm going to talk about the amazing dishes that Singapore makes. Singapore famous dishes and national dish. According to Treat Your Taste Bud with Singapore sizzling cuisine, it's out of the world. Chili crab is among Singapore's greatest culinary invention, the king of all crab dishes. So basically what they do over there, they have actually fancy restaurants and they actually have street food too. But they mostly like to go, since Singapore is actually, a modern society, they actually like more fancy restaurants. So it's more common to see more fancy restaurants out there. And then according to Treat Your Taste Bud with Singapore sizzling cuisine out this world, the Alaska is a distinctive noodle soup made with curry buns, spice, and coconut milk. So this laksa dish, they actually found it in Singapore, and it has ever since the modern Singapore has been built, they have continuously been making this Alaska noodle soup. Lastly, the last dish that I want to talk about is the national dish that they make, and it's called the Hainanese chicken rice. In conclusion, I have told you why you should come and visit and learn a quick history about Singapore. Wondering what place to visit next, or if it's your first time visiting a place? Come visit Singapore. You won't regret the decision you make. What questions do you guys have today? Okay, so you want to know what color of trees the Archer Street has? All the trees are basically green. They didn't want to make it that fancy since they wanted to make it as natural as possible. Anybody else have a question? Yes? Oh, okay, you wanted to know how big the street is actually? If I remember right, it was 26 kilometers built. If I remember right. I'm not sure about that one. Okay, thank you.